I'm choosing that cooka. What is our next, what could be our next grill, next smoker, etc. So, we're going to take three major considerations. First one being fire management, second one being fuel type, and then we're going to take a look. Lewis is going to come up here and he's going to walk through a demonstration of some of these smokers that are lined up here on the side. Fire management. Fires need three things to live, right? They need fuel, they need fire or heat, and they need oxygen. All three of those things need to exist in balance in order for a fire to exist. If you've ever tried to build a campfire out in the middle of nowhere and it's a windy day and you haven't put a shield up, you understand that the delicate balance that is needed to create these the fire where that is needed to cook your food. However, today we're going to primarily focus on fuel. And that is because fuel choice is really going to be dependent on your personality type, your free time, and your lifestyle that is going to let you select the grill and smoker that is right for you. So let's dig in there. We're going to focus on three primary categories of fuel types. We have gas, which includes propane and natural gas. We're not going to talk about natural gas right now because that's primarily done inside the house, unless you want to drop tens of thousands of dollars on an outdoor cooking setup. We are going to cover our natural or our wood-based fuels, which is our charcoal, our wood, and our pellets, and then we have electricity. So, first fuel is going to be our gas, which is propane. Propane, like all of our different fuel types, has some pros and some cons. The primary pro of propane is that it is easy to light and it heats up fast. So if you are serving a large number of people or you don't have a lot of time to prep, a gas grill is going to be what you need because you just flip on the gas, turn it up, and you're there. You're throwing food on that grill. You are limited with the type of food you can do on those gas grills, but you can also use propane to heat up your flat tops, like this Blackstone here. Those are great because it's great for that because it burns clean and steady, and the even distribution of heat is needed to control your different foods. However, what are the downsides? If you're cooking directly over those kind of flames, it can leave a bad fuel taste on top of your food, and also thanks, bud. And also the gas grills can be really, really hard to clean. Cleaning is important in all of your grills. It is going to be a factor. Gas grills are going to are oftentimes hard to disassemble and get in there and scrub out all the residue. All right, into our wood. Charcoal is wood, if you didn't know that. So charcoal is what you're going to use 9 times out of 10. If you are it's portable, you can find it everywhere, and it is really convenient and adds a nice smoky flavor. However, some people don't like that flavor. Those people are wrong, but that's something you need to pay attention to. It can be difficult to light, so oftentimes you'll see people cover their charcoal in lighter fluid, which then just makes your food taste like lighter fluid, which is not great. And also, now instead of scrubbing grill parts, you're vacuuming out or emptying out ash pans underneath your grill here. All right, on to my favorite. Wood, this is it. This is the primal thing. This is what this is where community was built back in caveman times, right? Like, get a fire, kill something, cook it over top. I love it, and I love it for a couple of reasons. One, I get to play with fire. Maybe some of you are more mature than me and that doesn't excite you anymore, but I still love it. And primarily, the flavor is the best. You can't compete with real wood. The variety of flavors that you can get from using a post oak versus a cherry wood or a hickory, it is unreal. But it does mean that you need to know what you're doing. The wood needs to be treated properly. It can be expensive, especially if you're doing it a lot. And if you can't find someone to source like a cord of wood at a time, it can burn through your wallet pretty fast. And here's the main one that's going to affect your decision. If you are cooking with wood, then you are going to be sitting outside by that smoker at least once an hour for the entire time that's cooking. So if you're cooking a brisket or a big pork butt that needs 12, 15 hours to cook, you're going to be paying attention to that smoker for 12 to 15 hours, and there's nothing else you can do to avoid that. So be prepared. All right, last wood fuel are our pellets. The pellets can be, they're just compressed wood, basically. They're easy to manage. Your pellet grills are run by computers, so it works almost like an oven. You set a temperature, and then you go away and it auto feeds. However, there are a couple things you got to be careful for, you got to pay attention to when you're working with a pellet grill. First thing is that if you do not clean and maintain your pellet grill, it will spontaneously combust. It is something that it's not hard to do, but you need to do it for your safety. They tend to be more expensive because they are actual computers that sit on the side and they measure the temperature and then they auto feed the pellets down into the bottom. And if you are not careful about your pellet selection, if you're buying cheap pellets, then there can be some chemicals and stuff which can get in your food and aren't great. Our last fuel type before we go into our actual demonstration is electricity. Electricity is something that you don't think about when thinking about outdoor cooking. But you have like this master build here, which Lucy's going to show you in a bit, where like there are some grills over in the corners over there that's just plug-in heat. So it's basically like an oven. You just you set it to the temperature you want, and the heating element on the inside heats up until it gets to that temperature, and then it holds it there. So you're going to get a consistent cook, you're going to get a clean cook. However, you're going to sacrifice a little bit on the flavor. There are some ways to add smoke flavor to your electronic cookers. But I'll just say this, you don't really see people bring in electric smokers to barbecue competitions, right? It is a little bit limited in what it can provide. That's pretty much it for the downsides. It's more convenient than I think most people give it credit for. So, Louis, everyone say hi to Louis. He's going to come up here. He's going to walk you through the different grill types.
Hey, that was a good job. We would probably stop right there. I mean, good job. Amazing. I'm Louis. I'm Louis Kemp, and I live here in Murfreesboro. I came here to play football at Middle Tennessee State University, and met my wife, and she's not here. She really didn't feel that well today, and if she did, she'll be here. Met my wife, and just began working, started a career, and decided within that time, within that 18, 19 years, that I love barbecue, I love community, and I'm from the South, and I just have to do what I was born to do. So, so we have this grill shop here, and we pretty much just talk barbecue all day long. That's what we do. I love to cook, so thank you guys for coming for that. And was able to meet Keith through this barbecue shop. He and his wife, as well as Patrick. So today we're just going to go over some of the different cooking tools that you have here. Patrick pretty much covered everything. I mean, he did. But I do want to point out here with the griddle. The griddle is known for its liveliness. It provides for us a foundational cook with a flat surface. It's another gas grill that Patrick mentioned. And so with the griddle, if my sister-in-laws came over for the holidays, I could knock out a breakfast for 20 people, 15 minutes. I mean, I'm like a Waffle House. I got everything together. I got boom, boom, boom. And so not only can you knock out breakfast, but you can knock out, you can pull a nice flavor for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. As far as getting your rice and getting all of your different meats, your shrimps, and getting everything to the side. So we just call it pulls for a really nice vibe for the family and friends. And it is also propane. Another unit here is the gas grill. Gas grills are great. I mean, we sell them here. I mean, we live in a fast world nowadays. We don't have a lot of time, a lot of fire, but you still want to get a nice grilled burger or a charred steak. You could do it with a gas grill. The main questions that I have with a gas grill is people come in here, they say, I don't know what to do with the side burner. And so I just pretty much create a whole different vibe for myself. Put a cast iron skillet on there, and add some vegetables, maybe some onions, maybe some corn off the cob, and just cook that while I'm cooking my meats here. One safety tip that I like to go over with the gas grill is that we have to remember it's gas. Anyone use a gas grill in here? Right there. So you guys may know that when you use a gas grill, we're using a propane tank. And most of the problems with a gas grill come from here. When we get done cooking, we leave our gas propane tank inserted. We leave it here. We cut everything off. We cut our knob off at the bottom. But we forget one thing is gas left in this line. So, God forbid, in case of something happened, a tragedy, we always got to remember is gas left in that line. So after each cook, you want to get that gas off. All you do is open up one eye, and it releases the gas in the line, and we clear. So that's one safety tip that I like to mention about a gas grill. And like Patrick said, keep them clean because they can build grease fires and cause some other kind of action. One other area I would like to move to here is charcoal grill. I like charcoal grills. That's what I do. I like charcoal. Here is a kettle grill, more of a Weber style grill. And all you do for this grill is you build a fire, put some wood chips in there, maybe some wood chunk, and you can sear or smoke directly with this type of unit. Another charcoal grill is something what we call the Oklahoma Joe Bronco. And this charcoal grill, you can actually grill with it or you can smoke with it. A lot of the barbecue competition guys come get these grills because they are really consistent and efficient. And another grill I would like to mention here is the pellet grill. Pellet grills, right now, they create a lot of traction. As Patrick mentioned earlier, one of the things that we like to point out with pellet grills is to make sure that we're using a natural pellet. That's an all wood burning pellet. So anyone has a pellet grill here? Pellet grill? All right, so one thing about pellet grills is most barbecue enthusiasts don't use pellet grills, but we do because we live in a fast world. One thing about pellet grills is if you get some pit boss pellets or Traeger pellets, one of the first things you notice is all the dust that's built up in there. And that dust is pretty much sawdust. So what the sawmills do, they take all the dust from the furniture, they send it to the companies, they bond it together with glue and additives, and then they cut it to a pellet. So typically when you use a pellet, it's a lot of fumes and chemical permeating into the food that you don't even really realize. So we sell an all wood natural burning pellet that's chemical free and doesn't have any additives. It's compressed through a homogenation process that they cut the wood from a stem. So that's all wood. But here, one thing Patrick did mention is that we want to keep a pellet grill clean. it can build grease fire, so you want to keep the pellet grill clean, and it is electrical, so you want to keep it covered because this panel here is called the control, and if it gets wet, you're out of commission. Right behind you here, we have the Kamado Joe egg grills. Those grills are really efficient when it comes to temperature, when it comes to cooking in cold or hot weather, so you can smoke with them or grill with them. But they're ceramic. So this community here is building into a model community because with these grills we get lifetime warranties and they hold temperature real good, and you can really get some dynamic cooks with those. So moving from the pellet grill, the gas grill to the pellet grill to the charcoal grill, we also utilize what we call electric grills. This is another form of an electric grill, like a pellet grill, but the difference is it operates off of an analog system. So the analog system has an electric element in it. It heats up, and you add wood chips to the box and maybe a little water, and you can just set the temperature and kind of just walk away, and you still can get a smoke action. If you don't have time to smoke with the traditional style grill, you have this option as well. So one thing I want to mention for the charcoal grills is that when you're using wood for a charcoal grill, you want to make sure that wood, and we will cover this in another class, but we're just going to kind of hit it. You want to make sure that you're using a good, pure wood that has hardly no moisture, maybe 26% moisture. You don't want to have it completely dry because it'll burn out, it'll turn to an ash. But you want to have at least a nice seasoned piece of wood. This is hickory right here, and when it burns, it turns to a coal. So you always want to remember to use a nice seasoned piece of wood. You don't want it too green. And when I say green, that means cut the tree down and you use it right away. And if you do that, you typically gain a dirty smoke, and you'll have a hard time controlling temperatures. You'll have a hard time getting good flavor for your food. Another thing that we like to use is to make sure that you get a nice, good charcoal. This charcoal here is chemical free. A lot of the Kingsfords that you see out, those charcoals typically tend to burn out and ash out really, really bad. And they also full of chemicals. This is chemical free, and this is a lump charcoal, and it holds heat really good. So, just wanted to cover some things on that, guys. Any questions?